This little thing in your pocket has become a useful tool in traveling. And in today's video, we're going to go into the top 10 apps and services that I use when traveling. Now, just to remind you guys, in today's video, all the links for the apps and services are going to be down below. So if you're interested in any of them, you can just scroll down and click the link below for more information. I recently found out about this app before I started traveling full-time in September. Monefy is a great money tracking app. I was researching through lots of apps and services and I found this one to be the easiest. It's free to download, however you can upgrade for $1.99 to the pro version, I believe, which is what I did because I found it to be useful in the long term. But it's super simple to use. The platform is user friendly. They have a dark theme version. They have different currencies for you to track through. And I think one of my favorite parts about the app is that there are a ton of different categories and icons you can use to track all of your expenses through. So it's super simple for me to go in every day and just click the minus sign and subtract my expense for the day. Now, the great thing about Monefy is that once you're done through the month or through the year, if you want to submit it for taxes, you can actually export it into your Google Drive and use it on your computer as an Excel spreadsheet. Now, moving on to number 2 is a VPN. But if you're unfamiliar with what a VPN is, it is a virtual private network. Basically, to summarize, it allows you to browse safely through the internet and securely without giving away your information to other people on the internet. So if you've ever shopped for anything online and then all of a sudden you see ads and ads for the thing that you were looking for, well, that's because you weren't using a VPN. Now, in addition to browsing safely and secure on the internet, it also allows you to defeat content restrictions in whatever country you're traveling through. So, for example, when I'm traveling around and want to watch Netflix, a VPN allows me to unlock certain TV shows and movies that are not available in the country that I'm traveling in. Now, the 2 VPNs that I would recommend, the first of which is ExpressVPN. I've used this for a long period of time. ExpressVPN is the #1 rated VPN service. It's also the fastest, but because it is the fastest, they charge a premium. I believe the price is about $6.67 per month if you get a yearly subscription. The other service which I've recently started trying out is called Surfshark. Surfshark has a really good user-friendly platform. Now, it's not as quick as ExpressVPN, but it's by far the cheapest. Nobody can compare to the price as Surfshark. Now, I think today medical insurance is needed more than ever, and I've had Safetywing as my medical insurance provider. I've had them since March, and the great thing about Safetywing is that it is a subscription service, meaning it's like Netflix or Spotify. You pay a monthly fee, and once you decide you want to stop, you just cancel the subscription and it won't renew for the next month. Now, I pay $40 a month for my plan, and one of the cool new features that Safetywing has implemented is the COVID-19 visa letter. So when you log into your account, you can input whatever country you're flying to, and they're going to print out for you a visa letter that's going to say that they are covering you for all COVID-19 restrictions. And this is actually needed when you're flying to certain countries. For example, in Ukraine, I wanted to fly there recently and I was required to show that I had proof of insurance that covers COVID-19. So this is something really useful if you're planning on traveling to a country where they require you to have COVID-19 insurance. Now, phone numbers and SIM cards. Whenever I travel to a new country, I have to get a new SIM card because I find that data plans are really cheap in the countries that I'm traveling to compared to the United States. So because I have to change my number every time I get a new SIM card, I have a standard phone number that doesn't change. And you may be wondering, how do I do that? Well, I have an app called Google Voice. If you're not familiar with Google Voice, it's an app that allows you to create a phone number. I believe it's only USA specific if I'm not mistaken, but it allows you to create a USA phone number through an app, and that number never changes. One of the big issues I found traveling is that when I'm creating accounts online, it always asks you to put in a phone number. Well, my phone number constantly changes when I'm traveling because of new SIM cards. So I always put in my Google Voice phone number, and when I just somehow forget my password, or if I'm logging in from a new country and it says device unrecognized and you need to authenticate yourself through a phone number, well, I'm using my Google Voice and that number never changes. Now, Google has come up with some amazing apps. So in addition to Google Voice, I'm actually using Google Maps and Google Translate as well. Now, the amazing thing with Google Translate is that you can download an entire language offline. So for example, if you're traveling to France and you want to download French on your phone, you can completely download the entire language and use the Translate app offline if you don't have any internet service. In addition, one of the most craziest features of Google Translate has to be their camera feature. So you can use the app with your camera, and if you're at a restaurant, you can use the camera to translate the actual menu in real time. It'll show you on your phone with the camera what the menu says in English. It's absolutely crazy. Google Maps has the same feature where you can download a map offline. So if you're traveling to Mexico like I did when I flew in, I downloaded an offline version of Tulum, Playa del Carmen, basically the whole Yucatan Peninsula in offline version. So if I didn't have data at the time, I could still find my way around. Moving into number 6 is an app called SplitWise. Instead of tracking your expenses manually and then at the end trying to figure out who owes what, you can use SplitWise. SplitWise is an amazing app that allows you to track all of your expenses in the group, and then at the end, the app calculates who owes how much. So somebody can pay for gas, somebody can pay for the Airbnb, and somebody can pay for dinner. And in the end, it'll calculate who owes how many dollars exactly. So that's SplitWise for you. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a little while, you guys will know that I am a big fan of airport lounges. I visit airport lounges as often as I can because frankly, I can't stand the absolutely ridiculous prices that you have to pay for a bottle of water in the airport. So I have a membership service called Priority Pass. Priority Pass allows you to pay a membership fee each year from $99 to I believe $300 a year, and it grants you access to over 1,300 airport lounges around the world. Now, currently this feature is not as useful because many of the airport lounges are closed down around the world, but slowly but surely they are reopening. Now there's 2 ways you can get Priority Pass. You can get it directly through their website by buying a membership fee for each year, or you can get a credit card like I've got. So I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and one of the big perks about this credit card is that I get Priority Pass for free and free entry plus 2 guests into the airport lounge whenever I travel. That credit card costs me $450 a year. Now you may be thinking, why am I crazy enough to pay for something like that? Well, that's because that credit card actually gives me a $300 travel credit whenever I purchase airline tickets. So basically $300 just gets completely wiped out off my credit card. So really you're only paying $150. Now, a year membership for Priority Pass is $99. So that's already $100. So in the long run, that fee really offsets through the entire year. If you guys are interested in getting Priority Pass, I will have a link for you guys down below in the description. Now, if you've ever had to send money abroad or had to receive money from abroad, you might know about TransferWise. TransferWise is an app that allows you to send money to anyone abroad in another country in whatever currency you need to send it in. So this app has actually come in handy when I was trying to get back into Indonesia. I had to pay a fee for my visa agent for me to get my visa, so I used TransferWise for that, and I believe the fee for that was like about $2 or $3 for me to send money directly abroad from US dollars to Indonesian rupiah, and the exchange rate for that was pretty accurate. So I really recommend this if you're trying to send money abroad via wire transfer. Now, for anybody that's working online, you guys will know how important internet is. So whenever I'm looking for a place to stay for long term, whether it's a monthly, weekly rental, whatever it may be, I always check to see what the internet speed is, and for that I use an app called Speedtest. Speedtest is very fast, reliable, and it shows me exactly what the internet speed is here in this area, and that's really it. So last but not least is going to be WhatsApp. Now, if you're traveling abroad, especially in Asia, WhatsApp is such a big messaging app here. Now, one of the cool things about WhatsApp that I recently found out is that you can join WhatsApp groups. So in Tulum, there was a females traveling in Tulum group where all the females could connect with each other that are living in Tulum. One of the cool groups that I've joined here in Bali is called Bali Creatives, which is basically like a photography, videography, and really anybody that's creative here in Bali can join, and you can connect with other people just like you. If you're using any of these apps, comment below, let me know what you think of them, how long you've been using them. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.